Hey, what's up, huntsmen and huntswomen out there? Duuz-Diz-Din back at it again with Rwby, Volume 8, Episode 12, titled Creation. Let's jump in because this episode is stacked. Now, we open up with absolute destruction, as you do, because of course the Grimm are still out and about. But Ironwood's focus is on the fact that Penny is set to be received here, and Aesop's kind of being their typical selves. We see that Vine is kind of regretting a lot of how things have come to this point, but Harriet is still just being kind of a jerk. I really wish her character wasn't just douchebag, but that seems to be what they're going for. So I have to appreciate the writing staff and the fact that they've managed to make this character so unlikable, but for reasons I can kind of understand if nothing else. But Ironwood then receives a report that Crow and Robin have gone after the bomb. So the Ace Ops are ready to go after it, but that leaves the question of who will be here with Ironwood to receive Penny. And Winter steps up, although there is a bit of confrontation between her and Ironwood because it's pretty obvious by now she's not okay with how Ironwood is doing things. But that ends up being neither here nor there, at least for the moment, as Penny arrives. But as Ironwood goes in to, receive her more or less, it actually is revealed to be an illusion done by none other than Emerald, already showing the depth of utility that she has. I love it. Please, Emerald, stay with the team. You are so incredibly useful. And so a fight breaks out between Jean's team and Ironwood. And whereas you would think that Winter would side with Ironwood, nope, it's revealed that she's actually helping them out, which Ironwood learns all too late before he gets Nora's hammer to the face. Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. It's so cathartic to see Ironwood finally get his ass beat. Oh, that's so delicious. It's so delicious. Meanwhile, Crow and Robin are raiding the Bomb Bay area or whatever. In come the Ace Ops to try to stop them, only for them to be stopped by none other than Marrow. Oof. Oh, yes. Long awaited plot threads finally coming together. It's a thing of beauty. And in an incredible move that looks like something out of Studio Trigger, Winter is the one to do the finishing blow on Ironwood. Would have preferred him to die to a certain degree, but just having him defeated and be locked up afterwards is still much needed water on my soul. And with that, Winter tells the team to move into phase 2. And of course, I bet you're wondering how we got here. So we flash back to earlier at the end of last episode, where Rwby had come to the realization that they should, in fact, have Penny open the vault. But the question still remained, how should they go about doing that? They have to do it in order to keep, just get what they need. They think that maybe they can use the staff of creation get to meet their objectives for the most part. And with a call from Winter to Weiss, they realize that they have someone on the inside. As we pick up with Winter explaining to Marrow that she basically saved his life in that situation, and she's decided to do what she's felt she's long since very much needed to do for the longest time now. She's finally decided to join the winning side. And as if on cue, in comes Robin and Crow when they need a little help in stopping Ironwood. Honestly, all these threads coming together at this exact same moment is very contrived, but at the same time, I very much love it because it's just nice to see things working out for our heroes for once. It's been so long. It's just like I will give you this because you guys have been going through the shit for so long. You need a win. You were owed a little bit of good luck. So I'll give you this. But the team questions, like, okay, if we take the relic, then Atlas falls. There'll be it won't fall immediately, but when it falls, you ain't gonna want to be around for it. And they questioned, how are we gonna do this? How do we keep Penny from exploding? What's the ways to go about this? And Ozpin also chimes in saying that the spirit of the relic of creation is he is not a very easy guy to deal with for the most part. Like, we're talking, he's a bit of a diva. Now, to mention, he also needs specifics. If you're not specific in what you request, bad things could happen. So, if you're making something, you better know damn well what you are making. And lo unto those who do not. And they also say, well, Whitley chimes in saying that he has a few ideas on a transportation system for evacuations, so they could use that as a blueprint to give to the spirit of creation. And Winter also says with their people on the inside, their chances have gone up exponentially. As we see that, you know, uh, Team Rwby is taking Penny through the hole that Oscar blew when he was escaping from Ironwood. Well, Ironwood tried to kill him and he went plummeting through. And this hole leads directly into the vault. Like, I didn't even suspect that this plot point would come back in this fashion. I never even guessed. Kudos to the writing team for setting this up. Like, what was it? Last season? Like, it's brilliant how it all ties in together. And so they open up the door and they rush inside in order to get to the Staff of Creation, awakening its spirit, Ambrosia, who is a hunk of burning love. I'll tell you that. And voiced by Valentine Stokes, who I just have to say, has an amazing voice. He hasn't been around in too many things, but when I tell you his voice acting here is phenomenal, I mean it. Welcome to the big leads, Valentine Stokes. I hope you get all the job offers after this, because your voice performance is mwah, magnifique. And so, we also get a little bit of backstory that, you know, his last creation was, in fact, Atlas itself, which he found a little bit pedestrian. He's an artiste, you see, and so he wants to outdo himself with his next effort. And Rwby suggests that his next effort should be Penny. Although, immediately, Ambrosius is just like, I don't resurrect human beings. I don't do that kind of stuff. That's against the rules. Genie rules. Don't resurrect. But Rwby says, well, Penny's not like other girls. And I love the expression that Ambrosia has here. Because it's just like, wait a minute. And he goes in and expects, just like, oh, wow, this I was not expecting. And he's very impressed by the schematics, even wanting to meet her creator. Although he does say that, okay, well, I can do what you're asking, but it might not turn out the way that you hope for. But then they show that they have petty schematics, and Ambrosius is just like, okay, you guys have thought of everything. But Rwby words the wish very carefully, and I love this. You gotta pay attention to the details. And she says she wants to create an entirely different body, taking all the parts out of Petty and putting it in that new body, leaving her soul. And, the idea is that they'll basically leave behind just Petty. You'll have the robotic parts with the virus and the self destruct sequence and all that good stuff, and then you'll just have Penny. But then it's just like the question becomes, what happens then? What do you have left once you take that out? Yes, she has a soul, but wouldn't the soul need a vessel? And Ruby's just like, well, I guess she'll just have to be creative. And I love the way he's like, man, this is fascinating. A fascinating way to go about it. And it really is. It's deeply fascinating. Because the very idea of just like, well, she does have a soul. She technically, to a certain degree, is a human being, just with robot parts. So if you separate the robot parts from the person and her soul and junk, then it's just like, okay, that is a little bit of a loophole you can get around. That's fantastic. That's weird. That's interesting. That's creative. Like, I love stuff like that. And so, Ambrosius gets to work, and it's done. Bada bing, bada boom. Brand new penny. And so, Atlas is destabilized. We have Jean and his team getting to work in trying to get the communication out that Atlas will fall and the evacuation plan basically to keep people from panicking. But their broadcast is weirdly shut off, which I immediately kind of thought, is it Arthur Watts? Possibly. Maybe? I don't know. We also have this fantastic moment between Winter and Jacques, where Winter makes it known that she had actually planned to leave Jacques here, but Weiss had decided against it, wanting her father to survive to some degree. So after she locks up Ironwood, she says, I'll be back for you guys later. Y'all can chill out in here. Thank you very much. And so we have two Pennies. One who has become human, and one who's got all the rest, and is very creepy. Like, ugh. Oh my goodness. And so Robo Penny completely breaks down from the virus to self destruct. Their robot self is no more, leaving behind a Penny who gets to feel for the first time ever. You know, the Penny who loves hugs finally gets to have her first warm hug. Penny is now a real girl. I love it. I love it, love, love it. But they bring about Ambrosius once again, much to his dismay. It's just like, oh, it's you guys again. Love the sass. Love, love, love it. But they put forth the suggestion of creating a transportation system so that they can get everyone from Mantle and Atlas to a safe spot in Vacuo. You know, that basically being the only other place they could go. Why they don't just bring them to like Haven, because there's not much going on in Haven at the moment, but they need to get to the next relic, and Vacuo is where Shade Academy is at, and that's where the relic of destruction is, the sword of destruction. So, very much going with where they need to be next. And I love Ambrosia saying it's just like, okay, you just have to explain to me how space time would work, how this transportation system would work, the location where you want me to take them, like all these little bits, nitpicks. But they also explain that the transportation system, it should, the nexus basically between one space and the other should be something like this. What they have here, the space where all the relics are held, the vaults. And it's just like, yeah, that's brilliant because it's like a weird infinite space where you can contain damn near anything. It's just like, yeah, these weird areas where the relics are held are complete spatial anomalies. Like, it's brilliant way to go, and they even show him the schematics for how the transportation system should look and work, and he creates it in this weird infinite nexus of space. He creates all these paths and roads leading to one place, and that place is Vacuo, and all these portals appear to the various citizens of Atlas as well as Mantle, and we get to see that, yep, they're able to breathe, they're able to survive, they can all make it. They can all get to safety. And with that, Ambrosius is just like, okay, it's done. Go about your business. Though he does give one warning. And again, this is the point where I'm like, Valentine Stokes, you are a great voice actor. Because the way that Ambrosius says about this destination of yours, don't fall. And the way he says it, like, Ambrosius has been fun and peppy and lighthearted throughout all of this, but the way he says those lines, the depth, the brevity, the just chills went through my body at that line because it's just like, what does that mean? What do you mean by that? That is terrifying. Like, to never take a warning like that lightly. Whew. And so, with that, he disappears. The girls are left to ponder that cryptic warning, and they step through into the unknown. Unfortunately, they didn't account for everything. It appearing to all the people of Atlas also includes Cinder. And that's where the episode leaves off. A fantastic episode. I wasn't expecting us to get to the relic of creation so fast to meet this new spirit. And man, what a spirit is he! Oof. It's unfortunate that these spirits do not have genitalia, but at the same time, that would create a very different series. Just saying, just putting that out there. But a great performance by Valentine Stokes. Welcome to the team. Unfortunately, I doubt we'll see this character anytime soon, but even still, fantastic work on Valentine Stokes' part. I can't wait to see what he appears in next. The whole situation with Jean and his team, I very much still feel like it's just like it has to be Arthur. It just weirdly cutting off like that. It's gotta be Arthur Watts up to his old tricks. Also, Penny becoming human, I wasn't expecting that either. Like, there were so many twists and turns in this episode. It blew my mind. Like, yo, that's a fascinating workaround to making Penny real. I was wondering for the longest time. She's a allegory for Pinocchio. So how would she become real? And with the help of a blue fairy, a blue spirit, it's just like bam, real girl. Like damn. And it was a wonderful workaround because there was nothing specifically saying that he couldn't create a new human body for Penny. It's just like, huh. Because she had all the memories. She was Penny. It's just like she had all the experiences. She knew who she was. It was so fascinating. And the door of the winter mating, so very deeply fascinating and very different from the door of the what was spring maiden. Like I was thinking that when I saw it, I'm just like, this door opens very differently than the other doors. So all of them have very different designs. The Spring Maiden had one with a, flower, kind of fan like design. This one's very mechanical and stuff. I'm deeply interested to see how the other doors look, especially since we weren't able to actually get to the relic of choice underneath Beacon Academy. Speaking of which, like, I really am starting to wonder where that relic is. Because Salem had said that her forces could not find the door. And Cinder couldn't open any door. She wasn't able to get to any door when she was there. So I'm wondering, where did Ozpin keep the relic of choice, the crown? Like, where is it? Like, I love that they're saving that for last, but still, it's just like, huh. I wonder what's going to happen. Because the Relic of Choice grants the user visions of the future, but you can't control those visions. So I'm just like, what's going on there? Uh, I guess having something like that at your disposal would be kind of cheating to a certain degree, but at the same time, I would deeply, deeply, deeply love to see what the deal is with that. I can't wait. And we're headed to Vacuo, where Shade Academy is, where Team Coffee and Team Sun have all relocated to. So we're going to be meeting a whole bunch of old friends and stuff like that. Like Sun and his team were from Haven, but they ended up going to Shade Academy with everything that was going on. So is I'm so interested to see these characters reappear and just have all these friends come together once again, because at this point the last stand might need to be in Shade Academy in Vacuo. So I'm really wondering, what will we have to do to get the Sword of Destruction? And we also don't know what it does exactly. It destroys, but there's got to be a catch. There's choice, knowledge, creation, destruction, but they all work in very, very specific ways. So, what does the Sword of Destruction do? What does the Relic of Destruction do? And how does it destroy? And, you know, luckily we managed to get away from Salem and her forces for the most part. But how long will it take before she's able to regroup and go back on the offensive? See, that's why I told you this was a meaty, meaty, meaty episode. So much went on here. So tell me your thoughts and theories in the comment section below. Did you agree with anything that I had to say? Please let me know. Did you disagree? Now, I want to hear your thoughts and theories in the comment section below. And do all the YouTube stuff or don't. It's all up to you. And until next time, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.